On it, then you ride on it. When you jump on it, take a time with it. Then you bounce on it, then you vibrate it. When you manage it, can you jiggle it? When you manage it, position on it. I wanna take the ladies to the farm. They told McDonald hard up and E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm there was school, y'all. E-I-E-I-O. Them know how to kick, them know how to back. Put that together, my girl, take it, that's it. Take it up and then like that's it. Then take a beat. Move up, caution, start jiggle it. Take a pose, baby, you can do it. Take a wine, baby, you can do it. Tell them. Then take a beat. Move up, caution, start jiggle it. Take a pose, baby, you can do it. Take a wine, baby, you can do it. Take y'all, come sit down and talk. Take that bumper, do that. When you send that bumper back, my girl, I love the view from the back. Y'all, come sit down and talk. Take that bumper, do that. When you send that bumper back, my girl, I love the view from the back. Can you manage it? Can you walk it? Can you back it in? Can you climb on it? Position on it, then you ride on it. Can you jumble it? Take a plan with it. Then you bounce on it, then you vibrate it. Then you manage it, can you jiggle it? Can you manage it? Position on it. I wanna take the ladies to the farm. They call McDonald hard up and E-I-E-I-O. Don't mind them. Exit Productions. Grazie. Okay, crew. Let me tell you what you have to do. So, by Kutet, by Lame, by Zoe, Tre Alley, Usa, je keep it up Alley, et Usa, shik back up Alley. Donkey Kong, jump around. If you can, who can fun? You can make the bumper fun. I say, sing on it like Larson. If you fishy, get in on bad. Bumper like a bad color one. Yes, bumper pity come is cat. Bumper got the bell for salad. Let us pick up the choke crew. My camera, she say, book salafu. Big up Malfred Goldie and Shoe. You should know what you have to do. So, by Kutet, by Lame, by Zoe, Tre Alley, Usa, je keep it up Alley, et Usa, shik back up Alley. Donkey Kong.
Established in 1961 and still going strong.
Like, really? No, shut up.
Radio Caribbean International. We are number one.
Unleash your property potential and earn big with the Solution Workers Credit Union's Airbnb loan. Enhance, expand, earn big. Ready to turn your short-term rental property into a lucrative income source? Look no further. Upgrade decor, furniture, tile, or even construct a new masterpiece. All made possible with the Airbnb loan. Visit any of our 3 branches, but that's not all. Apply for a Visa card and access your loan with unparalleled ease. The Airbnb loan, your ultimate partner for short-term rental excellence. The Solution Workers Credit Union, not for profit, not for charity, but for service.
Here's how to register in Let's Bet by the St. Lucia National Lottery. Step 1. Tap on the register button to kick off your journey. Step 2. Complete the registration form with your details, making sure everything's spot on. Step 3. Tap on register to lock in your registration. Step 4. It's ID verification time. Select the type of document you'll be using and snap a picture or upload an existing one. Finally, step 5. Tap on submit image for verification and let us handle the rest. Remember to check your email for verification. And now you're ready to play in Let's Bet. Brought to you by the St. Lucia National Lottery. Changing lives.
This cannot be happening right now. My interview is in 20 minutes.
Julia had one job, get there. But it looks like her battery life was low. And now, instead of sealing the deal at a future dream job, she's going to be stuck working in a 2x4 sized cubicle next to Tanya, who talks too much and Stinky Fit Steve indefinitely. Don't be like Julia. Make sure you get where you need to with the all-new Maximo battery. Available island-wide at all automotive art stores and leading gas stations and part shops. The all-new Maximo battery now comes with an up to 2-year full replacement warranty for installation and free maintenance check at Automotive Art. The all-new Maximo battery. Get there.
Well, imagine, sometimes it's feeling like there's only 2 days in the week. Yesterday was Monday, and look at that Friday afternoon. So hear that. Do you have a talent or skill that you can turn into a business idea? Well, don't sleep on you, my youth. Get your business started today. The Youth Economy Agency will guide you. Provide funding. Yes, sister, provide funding. Plus training to run your business profitably. Yo, go online now to start living the St. Lucian dream. Just one click and boom, You're in business.
We're popping champagne and cutting cake. It's our anniversary, baby. 101 number one.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Can you hear me now? Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Those people were listening and did not hear what I was saying. I'm sorry. Welcome to Unplugged, Miguel Fevrier. I did it off. You have to bear with me. A little new to this, but I'm catching. I am catching on to be used to the radio. I was saying that we congratulate all our winners of the recently held sports awards at Red Bay, and many of them categories will be categorized within the youth category. That is between the age of 15, of course, eligible to qualify for a youth economy loans from 15 to 35. I'd like to congratulate Johnson Charles, who was the sports man of the year, the senior man of the year, and of course, Miss Julian Alfred, who was the female sportswoman of the senior sportsperson of the year. And I think that was undeniable that she would get that considering what she has done. I think it's unprecedented that Juju won us Olympic medals, our very first Olympic medals, and gold and silver medal in the 1 and 200 meters, respectively. Um, we would have got from the Ministry of Youth Development to speak on the strides that we're taking in the areas of youth and sports. But as we speak right now, the senior and junior basketball finals are being be underway. Sorry, we have so this was being super comprehensive. I believe in the seniors and the juniors. We have St. Mary's College, and Patricia DJ Secondary School. I just like to give Youth Economy Agency a plug here because why would be experts? They have not only provided grants to young entrepreneurs, but they've also been instrumental in female footballers and cricketers being able to secure scholarships overseas. And that was the youth economy was part of this whole process of ensuring that of financing those scholarships. Now, we're going to speak to a young man who's in the studio with me, who is also a beneficiary of the Youth Economy Agency. And I'd just like to say as well that when I reference the Youth Economy Agency many times to speak to people casually, I always speak of him because I inadvertently met him that day. I actually went for a job interview, and then he was there actually collecting his studio equipment, and he was taking pictures. And I've known him for a very long time. His mom is a friend of mine. Also, his dad is also a member of the media, colleague of mine. So he has the name of a footballer, but then he looks more like an American footballer, and I think he more prefers to photograph the footballers. So with me is Mr. Ronaldo Ashby. He's a photographer, videographer, he's a graphic designer as well.
Yes.
In studio, and he's a beneficiary of the youth economy agency. He's 28 years old. So Ronaldo, welcome to Youth Unplugged, and it's great to have you here.
Thank you so much for the welcome. And shout out to the Youth Economy Agency as well, because without them, we wouldn't be doing all this right now.
Okay, Ronaldo, just give us a little bit of your background, where you're from, schools attended, and how did you get into what? Tell us more detail about what you do now and how you did get into it.
Okay, not a problem. So my name is Ronaldo Ashby. I am 28 years old. I attended the St. Mary's College Secondary School. I've been to, already all the Sumerians, pick up yourself. Nah, not Tapo, never Tapo, never Tapo. Um, I attended South Louis Community College as well, and I've done a few programs at Monroe University. Um, what started me down the journey is I've always been a tinkerer. I've always like finding out how things work. I've always like playing in things, as you could say. And back in 2016, some of my friends got into graphic design and then they bought cameras. And in using their cameras, I fell in love with the process of creating a photo. And I took basically my entire salary when I got it at the end of the year. I bought a camera and that just propelled me down that journey.
Okay. All right. So how long you are the owner, the proprietor?
Oh my, it was off. Okay. Oh my, I am so sorry, folks. We've just been having a bit of a technical difficulty. In fact, I'm the technical difficulty. I'm still learning the console, and turns out that my mic was off. Okay. I was saying that we're here with Ronaldo Ashby, and he's a videographer, photographer, a graphic artist, graphic designer, and he's also a beneficiary of the Youth Economy Agency. And Ronaldo, for those who missed it, I think can you just give us a little more about you, your background, how you go into graphic design, what you do now?
Absolutely. So it started off with a bunch of friends of I attended the St. Mary's College Secondary School and then South Louis Community College with a bunch of friends of mine. And then we sort of branched out into different fields of work back when we left school in 2012. And some of them got into graphic design. And around 2016, they bought cameras as well to get into photography. And then I started to use their cameras and I fell in love with the process of creating a photo, of telling a story from behind the lens. So I had done some little Photoshop stuff from beforehand, a little bit of videography, a little bit of editing and stuff from beforehand. And at that point, it just spiraled for me, and I went down that journey of telling a story from behind the lens.
All right, Ronaldo. Thank you very much. So with that said, tell us more. You are the owner of. Give us the name of your business.
Run Star Solutions. Run Star Solutions.
Run Star Solutions, right?
Yes.
Can you give us an idea of some of the things that you have done and you got into? What your specialty is, and
Okay, so on Bronze Solutions, we provide digital content creation services as well as ICT support. So on the side of digital content creation, we follow the usual trends. We do photography, we do videography, we do graphic design. Some examples of some stuff I've done has been working with the youth as well, for some football tournaments that I took the photographs for. I did some video footage for it as well, designed the flyers, um, for the Philip JPI football tournament. I'm very You find I do a lot of stuff in and around the Castro East community in the past. So the football tournaments, I've handled the media for that. I've done some of the flyers for the Castries East battle relays as well. When it comes to ICT solutions, that really just involves information communication technology. So that's basically anything that deals with one piece of technology communicating and interfacing with another. So some of the examples of that would be, for example, installing a point of sale machine so that you can process cashless transactions, or you can just process the transaction at all at any restaurant or little shop. Installing security cameras, doing mics, doing other sorts of cameras, just basically anything that involves the interface of communication via technology.
Wow. You know, back in my day, I sound so old now. But, I mean, when in my day, when we were in secondary school and we did IT, I did IT for CXC. We had to do it at an outside institution. So we had to pay like either $300 or 2 more months. It's tough now, to remember to do it outside the schools.
Mhm.
And now, who would have thought we'd have reached a point where you have it's so ubiquitous that
Yep.
you have an all-in-one solution at
Yep.
your business. Now, you said we. Um, is your business a partnership, or do you have people working underneath?
Well, it's not a partnership. I am the sole proprietor and the only full-time employee. However, if there's any person that I know of who is interested in what I do, and there's an opportunity for me to have them shadow what I do
Mhm.
so that they can learn from what I do, I always take those opportunities. So whether it comes to photo shoots, I usually have someone shadowing me as an assistant for the day so they can learn behind the scenes of taking a photo. I help them with editing as well so we can pass on the knowledge of telling a story via photos. And even if someone's interested in ICT, in running the cables, in how to crimp a wire, in what makes an Ethernet cable work, I bring them along with me as long as I'm able to. And we share that experience. So, because I am self taught for the most part, I've done without formal education for probably about 20 years in the field of IT. From I did my first diagnosis and fixed my first cell phone when I was about 6 years old.
Whoa, whoa,
So
the child prodigy.
we've been doing this, and I understand the value of being taught versus trying to figure it out yourself. So I'm never somebody that will close the door on who comes after me. We're paving the way so we can progress.
You know, and I think that's what the Youth Economy Agency is all about as well. Apart from them providing mentorship, they look to people like you, and it's good. We had Crystal Rivera, Mrs. Crystal Rivera, last the COO, last week on the show. And we spoke about the mentorship, and she spoke about how excited that the mentors are about, in fact, to the point that they give extra time and so much
Yep.
extra time, more than what's allotted via the contract or
Yep.
whatever agreement that is signed. And you seem to be enjoying it. So you're actually giving back to enjoy. You're not one of the selfish ones who would say, okay, boy, that's competition that's coming up. Um, you said at 20 years old, so it's like you're 8 years into it. When you picked up your first camera, you fell in love with it, and
Yeah, yeah,
your
yeah.
friend's camera, like you said. Um, During your time at secondary school, did you ever dream that you would be where you are right now, running your own business at younger than 30 and having it, or what, and was videography, photography, and ICT solutions what you would have envisioned for yourself back in that time prior to discovering your camera?
Absolutely not. As a matter of fact, I'm one of those who have gone through the gamut. When I was younger, I wanted to be a teacher, then I wanted to be a police officer, then I wanted to be a fireman, then I wanted to be a lawyer, I wanted to be a doctor. In my younger teen years, it was about the money. I wanted to enjoy life, and it seemed like enjoying life was tied to money. So I wanted to be in a position where I could earn the money to enjoy life. And as I've grown, I've realized collecting so many different experiences because I've taught, I've done security, I've driven, I've done deliveries, I've done all sorts of stuff.
Teaching and security. That's a
I've done
boy.
all
Okay.
sorts of stuff. I realized in all of these experiences that I enjoy the process. I enjoy collecting these life experiences a lot more than doing any particular career. So, in a way, it's not so much about the money bringing the enjoyment, but learning something new, trying something new, achieving successes, learning from my failures. That's what's been driving me.
Yeah, and I proffer that same advice to young people, especially at secondary school when you're choosing your subjects. I did a wide variety of subjects, including the sciences, the arts, business, and social studies and that kind of thing. And I believe it's always good to expand your knowledge at that level because it helped me as a journalist.
Mhm.
So I see what you're saying now about enjoying those experiences because at the end of the day, you're able to reference them at some point.
Yep, yep.
Now, that said, um, I said earlier, and I'd like to apologize again for the technical issues that we experienced, right? But I do use you as a point of reference because, like I said, I've known you a long time. I
Mhm.
know your parents and your family for the most part. And that day when you received your grant, I believe, I just, for me, I believe it was a grant. I saw you taking your pictures for your studio equipment.
Yes.
I I I felt it. I actually, for me, it almost felt like I felt the personal value of what the Youth Economy Agency is all about and what it does to help our young people. Can you just tell us about your experience with the Youth Economy Agency, how you got to apply, and what your experience has been like? That's it.
Absolutely. So in 2023, I was um, trying to figure out what the next step was. And from my mother to some of my previous colleagues, a lot of people were directed me to the Youth Economy Agency. And, as we grew up in a time where there were the haves and the have nots. And the haves always had it, and the have nots never had it. So there was always some level of skepticism for me. Why should I apply for the youth economy grant? I'm not going to get that. It's not going to help me. And the very first program that I applied for was a business plan training. And we got the opportunity to sit in with a business analyst, and he put us through a crash course on what goes into planning a business, the finances, the numbers, the idea, the concepts, the value added. He brought us through that. And then we had to present that at a panel and presenting my idea and telling people, hey, this is what I am going to do. This is what I am creating. This is the legacy that I am starting. And to get the feedback from them, you know what? Go for it. You have a good idea, you have a good plan, go for it. It was amazing feeling. And the youth economy in particular, they have this thing they say where they tell you that we don't tell you no, which I have seen. The youth economy agency, unlike a bank who will tell you, you know what, you don't meet the criteria. If there's something lacking, they don't leave you hanging. They advise you, okay, so this is your business, this is what you want to do, but this doesn't look sustainable. So what can we do? How can we change it so this becomes sustainable, it becomes profitable, and it becomes a success for you? They actually sit with you and they work with you in that regard, and they elevate you to where you need to be so that they can give you the support that you need.
Okay. Wow. That's amazing. It's great to hear the first-hand accounts of how these things have worked for you because there is skepticism out there. And like Crystal said last week as well, um, people believe that they're just giving away money and it's free money. And it's good to hear that there's so many components. It's not
Yeah.
just about giving you money to add to your business and that kind of thing. So you're able to get a grant,
Yes.
and that is the $5,000 grant.
Yes, that was a $5,000 grant. And
Only
from
$5,000, but I saw you holding a lot of stuff in your hand.
but I was careful budgeting. But in addition, the Youth Economy Agency has been able to work with the government. So that $5,000, when you're ordering equipment, you don't pay duties on whatever they
Wow.
bring.
You hearing that,
So
folks?
you're able to push the limit and spend your whole 5,000. You don't have to budget half for customs.
Wow. I didn't even remember. I remember Yeah, that was part of the thing. I remember, and that's why I'm wondering. I saw you holding so much stuff, and that
Yeah,
smile on your face is wider than you
yeah.
have now. In terms of, let's get to some of the work that you have done. Is there anything visible out there that you did mention the football tournaments and everything, but any artistic competition? Is there any things out there you can point to and say, hey, that's Ronaldo's work or Ron Star Productions work?
Well, there's a little video floating around of a play. The play is called Kesno, which is a story of a man, Kesno. He was a prisoner,
Mhm.
and Black Malay, another prisoner, who is actually the person who the name of the community in Marsha, Black Malay, was derived
Mhm,
from.
mhm.
So that play tells the final moments of their life, and any video production that you see, it was recorded by me, and the audio for that play, I constructed it in my bedroom with the equipment from Youth Economy,
Oh,
and we were triggering it at the sites with equipment from Youth Economy.
okay. Now, that said, videographers pop up every day. I mean, I have friends who are into it for years. What sets you apart and from the rest? And I don't want it to sound like, okay, yeah, maybe you're better at this, but how would you say, what defines your product? What defines your product that would separate it from everybody else? So everyone has a defining
Yes.
product.
Well, one of my beliefs is, as saturated as the market might be, because like you said, there's a lot of photographers. There's no one person that can service the whole island. So my approach has always been on a very personal level, on a people level. We have pricing. Sometimes pricing is a little difficult to understand from a client perspective, because from a client perspective, you see you're just doing 10 pictures and they want to charge you $300. You don't get to see what goes into the equipment, the amount of time before planning the shoot, editing the stuff, sitting with you to understand what your vision is. What are you trying to achieve with your photos? What story are you trying to tell? And how can we shape what we have around us to convey that story, to convey that message? So a lot of times that gets lost. But what I like to do is to have these conversations. I want to know, okay, so you want a photographer. What is the goal? Are you just trying to get photos so you remember what happened? Is there something special that's happening? Is there something particular that I need to focus on? Who is the person that you would like me to focus on? What sort of journey are we going on? And I one of the things that I honestly get lost in when I do events, when I do parties, weddings, stuff like that, it's the emotions of the people around me. I get lost in
Mm,
that, absolutely.
mm. So you're able to capture the right shot because
Oh
you could
yeah, we
tell.
feel what they feel and we in it with them. As far as I'm concerned, I'm part of the
Why
ambience.
not? Of
Yeah,
course,
man.
that's your product. Well, that's good. Now, also when I speak of you, like I said, I use you as a reference point for the Youth Economy Agency. I also mention the opportunities, especially in your field. And as a media person myself, I know that outside of St. Lucia,
Mhm.
have you, where do you see, what's the scope of your business, right? The scope of growth of your business right now. Where do you see yourself, let's say, the next 5 years? And in terms of even staffing and the size of your business, and of course, working
Mhm.
outside of St. Lucia.
Well, one of my long-term projects is actually to start creating media, because something that I brought up with my mother, because she's in the theater world and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So I brought up something to her a few years ago, that if you look on Netflix, you'll find about 7 different vampire or werewolf series that you can watch. We have our folk tales and we are losing those folk tales and we're losing our culture to the mainstream media. But what's stopping us from taking the Sukuyo, taking the Bolom, taking the Lugaru, taking our folk stories and branding it and packaging it in a way that we can provide it on a streaming service, we can provide it on a streaming platform. So it's no longer about you have to go down south and go to a seance and headed old people give those stories. It's readily available for everybody. So one of my goals is to start that series and to like the Grimm, the Brothers Grimm, that series. We're going to do that
I
with the
love that.
solution for
I love that
wheels.
vibe,
Yeah,
vibe,
man.
man. And you know what? It, you look. I'm not a big, in fact, not a fan period of the African movies, but our
Mhm.
people seem to be a lot, seem to, and people around the world seem to be, and they do provide all those elements of their culture, their folk history, and all of their superstition and these kind of things.
Yep,
That's
yep.
a good vibe. That's I hope you do that before you turn 35, so you can at least get assistance from the Youth
Yeah,
Economy
man.
Agency.
We're going to do everything we can.
All right, Ronaldo. As we close up, any final thoughts, and please provide your social media handles and let the people know again. Let our listeners and viewers, of course, know again what you do, the name of your business. You have the next 2 minutes. Just tell us some
Okay.
more.
So again, everyone, my name is Ronaldo Ashby, 28 years old. You can find me on Instagram at Ron Star Solutions. Feel free to send me a message.
Spell it out. Spell it
So
out.
that's RON and then star like a regular star, and then solutions because we're solving problems. And if you don't know, if you just want to bounce an idea off of me, if you just want to find out the scope of what's possible, what something might cost, feel free. At this point, we don't have cost for consultation, so take advantage of that while you can. And please, if you are within the scope of where the youth economy services, I think that's from 15 to 35, take advantage. Take the opportunity to reach out to the Youth Economy Agency. It's not just about the grants, it's also about capacity building. There's constantly holding trainings. They partner with so many different institutions to have trainings to build capacity and to help you with covering the gaps that you may have and getting you stronger where you may be falling short.
All right, all right, all right. I could have said better myself, my brother. Please, please, please. I need you to come back on you're big, and don't forget the little people when you
Oh,
make it,
absolutely not.
and hopefully we can see you as one of those doing the videography when the Dominica when the Creole Festival comes
Yes.
around, but Ronaldo, thanks for being there, brother, and good luck with everything you're doing, and I'm hoping that the Youth Economy Agency is listening so that
Yep.
they can offer more advice to how you can grow your business. And
Yep.
I like the way you're giving back. You're giving them, well, not free advertising, but it's better advertising than what
Yeah,
than a
man.
lot
Yeah,
of people
man.
can pay for.
It's first time, and I personally have directed about 5 people through it and give them all the guidance that I can. And so a lot of them have already came back to me and said, they got their grants, they're getting through. Every now and then I check up with them, how things going, if they're getting any assistance, what's going on. Because again, it's about giving back and opening the door. We're not shutting any doors, we're paving the way for progress.
All right. Thank you very much, Ronaldo, once again. And thank you very much to our viewers and listeners of Youth Unplugged here on RCI. I'm Miguel Fevrier. I'd like to apologize once again. It's really hurting me that I cut into your time and Ronaldo's time with a few technical difficulties. But then I'm new to radio, those of you who know me. So I'm learning the consoles and I will get there. There will not be another time of me messing up like this. But thank you again. Thank you for listening and stay tuned to Team RCI. Will be back, and I will see you next week, Wednesday for Letla and Thursday for Youth Unplugged. Goodbye.
But imagine, sometimes feeling like there's only 2 days in the week. Yesterday was Monday, and look at them Friday afternoon. So hear that. Do you have a talent or skill that you can turn into a business idea? Well, don't sleep on you, my youth. Get your business started today. The Youth Economy Agency will guide you. Provide funding. Yes, sister, provide funding. Plus training to run your business profitably. Yo, go online now to start living the St. Lucian dream. Just one click and boom, you're in business.
Established in 1961 and still going strong.
Like, really? No. Shut up.
Radio Caribbean International. We are number one. We're popping champagne and cutting cake. It's our anniversary, baby. 101 number one.
love you so. Girl, I love to see you when you just